I only ate the Blueprint diet for 1 full week and wanted to find out whether it works for me, what the effects of this diet are, and most importantly, how I will feel. The Blueprint diet is part of the Blueprint itself by 46-year-old tech millionaire and full-time biohacker Bryan Johnson.
It's hard to believe tech millionaire Bryan Johnson is 46 years old. But no matter his chronological age, he's striving for the biological age of an 18-year-old. His team of 30 doctors utilize all the latest tech. The plan is rigorous.
Bryan Johnson spends $2 million a year to do one thing: reverse the speed of aging. And through a multifaceted regimen of all sorts of crazy things, he actually succeeded quite a bit and is now one of the slowest aging humans in the world, with the goal in mind to be in every shape or form as fit as an 18-year-old. And he actually shares this method as a copy and paste method on the internet for free, which he calls the Blueprint. But it's not only him. He's far from alone pursuing similar goals like this, but actually part of a big and ever-growing group of people that want to maximize their health and live as healthy and as long as possible. These people call themselves biohackers. They want to hack, thus improve their biology as much as possible. What might seem unimaginably complex and overwhelming for a beginner is actually quite simple and easy to start with. If you want to start biohacking as well, many, and also Bryan Johnson, recommend to start doing these 3 things. Number 1, sleep enough. Number 2, move enough. And number 3, eat healthy. And from someone who spends $2 million a year on his health, you would think that his diet is expensive, sophisticated, and something you could never follow. But no, again, he shares everything on the internet for free, and it is actually fairly manageable. Bryan asked himself one question: what should my diet look like to give me the optimal nutrition? What would my heart, my gut, my brain wish to eat if they could decide for themselves to function optimally? What can you eat to have the most nutrients, the most minerals, vitamins and more for your body to function the best way possible? His answer? The Blueprint diet. His team of researchers and doctors developed the, in his view, perfect diet, which consists of 2 meals plus 1 meal of your own liking, and both of these 2 meals we will cook later together. To be fair, he takes an enormous and absurd amount of separate supplements, which I cannot afford and won't do in this video. But he said that his consistent, optimal diet, the Blueprint diet, contributed immensely to his vast improvements in every aspect of his health, making him one of the slowest aging humans in the world. So in this video, I will actually try the Blueprint diet. Like Bryan Johnson, I will eat the nutty pudding and the super veggie meal for 1 week every day and see how I will feel, what the effects are, and whether you should do it too. But for now, what is the Blueprint diet actually? So hi and welcome to Cooking with Michael. So now we're gonna prepare the nutty pudding and super veggie in this weird little setup because I couldn't film it anywhere else. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna go through all the ingredients and what they're actually for, and yeah, then we're gonna cook them together. So let's get started. Okay, so the recipe is actually fairly simple, but with ingredients you wouldn't maybe normally use. So let's get started with our base, and that is black lentils. Then we're adding the cauliflower for anti-inflammatory properties and high fiber content, and it's also very good for your digestive system. Next up, broccoli for antioxidants. It's crucial for maintaining good bowel health and also a lot of additional fiber. Next up, I squeezed out a lime and added some ginger for broad health benefits, like for your liver, for pancreas, for artery health and for digestion. Then a little bit of garlic, which has many benefits for your heart health and immune system support. Next up, we add hemp seeds for omega-3 fatty acids. So then we added a little bit of cumin for anti-inflammatory properties and benefits for liver and pancreas health. Then I added 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, which Bryan Johnson adds to every meal because it has so many health benefits, supports heart health and has many healthy fats. Then 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, because it has the ability to regulate blood sugar and add a bit of flavor. And last but not least, some shiitake or maitake, I hope I pronounce this right, mushrooms. These mushrooms are noted to enhance immune system health and more. And voila, there you go, you created your first super veggie. So next up is the nutty pudding, and I will not show you every step of the preparation because the preparation is to actually blend it all together. So we'll just show the ingredients and what they're for. So we're gonna take about a cup of berries and cherries. They provide loads of antioxidants, essential vitamins, walnuts, and because I don't have macadamia nuts here and they're crazily expensive, I added cashew as a substitute. Then we're gonna add flax seeds and chia seeds. They're both very high in fiber, they add healthy omega-3 fatty acids and have also antioxidant properties. This was a bit hard to find, but also Ceylon cinnamon, which is known to help manage blood sugar levels. Then a nut milk of your choice. I chose almond milk, some pomegranate juice, and also 1 scoop of whey protein for protein, you might have guessed. So it's my second day on the Blueprint diet and I wanted to give you my first impressions so far. So it's the second day only, so I can't say really too much, but I really felt like I had much more energy than usual because, I don't know, like instantly after eating the meal, I had like really lots of energy. I don't know if this is placebo because it looks so healthy or really because the meal does something with me. What I can really say is both after the nutty pudding and after the super veggie that my energy levels are really constant over the day. So I think this has to do with the low, for example, the nutty pudding is mostly fats and protein. So there's almost no carbs, which won't let your blood sugar level spike so much, which is great for constant energy levels, and the same applies to the super veggie as well. So this is really great. So lots of energy. Also, if I have much energy, then my mood is really good as well. So kind of like feed your body, feed your brain, also feed the mind, feed the body, feed the mind, something like this. Besides that, I want to say that the nutty pudding is really tasty, so I really love it. I would make this, so I wouldn't eat it every day, I think. Also, if I were not on Blueprint. Can't say the same about super veggie, so it's okay. It has a really weird taste to it. I think it's a mixture of the cumin, the apple cider vinegar, and I don't know. I think those two make the meal taste a bit weird, but it's okay. You can adapt to it. So this means that I gave both nutty pudding and super veggie to others to try, and they all loved nutty pudding, but really super veggie was. I think everybody that tasted it thought it was disgusting and asked me why I would eat it. But yeah. Besides that, super veggie is like really an absurdly huge portion. So so it's not my first time that I eat it. I tried it a couple of times before doing like this video challenge, the first times I prepared it, like Bryan Johnson did in his video, where his chef, I think, just cut all the pieces into smaller pieces and they served it in a huge bowl. I found out that Bryan Johnson actually blends it most of the time all together in like in a I don't know what you want to call it. I think I will insert a picture here. It doesn't look too tasty, but it makes the meal much more manageable because the meal is so huge. It's unbelievable. If you don't blend it down, blend it into like puree or whatever, then you almost cannot eat it. So it was a bit weird. I had to stop eating it because it was too much. So although there's not many calories in it, so it was a bit of a problem. So I actually now blend it into like this mousse or puree or what you want to call it, and this makes it much more manageable. I'm really full afterwards. Yeah, that's basically it. I have to look for a third meal option, so I think I'm gonna opt for like a Greek salad or something like this. A bit of a problem is that Blueprint does not offer much protein, so I gotta figure out to add some more protein in the third meal. Yeah, besides that, one additional thing I want to mention is that there's like garlic, one full clove of garlic in each super veggie. So yeah, you know what I mean. It's like your breath will stink a bit. But yeah. The Blueprint diet seems to be a stark contrast to what a typical modern Western diet actually looks like. Because if we were to put one label on our food today, then it would be fake. Much of what you find in modern supermarkets or what you can order in fast food chains barely can be called real food, but rather mass-produced and ultra-high processed combinations of different edible components. Just look at the ingredients lists of many products in the store and you know what I mean. No wonder it is so hard to eat healthy when ingredient lists on products are longer than a Wikipedia article packed with words you would have to use Wikipedia to find out what they actually mean. Take Twinkies for example. Polysorbate 60? Sodium stearoylactylate? What is this? The problem with the term processed food is that it doesn't fully describe what the actual problem really is. Both traditional cheese or butter, but also a chicken nugget from McDonald's could be called processed, where the only difference is that cheese, for example, could be seen as normal, healthy, whole food, whereas most people wouldn't really want to find out what really is inside a chicken nugget. The term empty describes in this case better what is so problematic about our foods. Through complicated processing in order to mass produce food and make it almost addictive, the food industry sells more and more products to us that have calories, that have protein, that have carbs and fats, but nothing more. Like selling a house without windows and doors, this empty food simply isn't useful for our bodies and do more harm than actually good in the long run. Besides that, in order to maximize taste and addictiveness, it is mostly packed with fats and especially one thing: sugar. Sugar is simply everywhere, from obvious candidates like sweets and snacks to fast food, all the way to food where you simply wouldn't expect it. 6 cubes of sugar in the average store-bought frozen pizza, 8 sugar cubes in a can of pasta sauce from the supermarket. There's added sugar in pickles. Most bread is packed with added sugar and it simply doesn't end. Our diet is many things, but mostly packed with sugar and fats, low in fiber, minerals and vitamins, and it has way too much sodium and mostly will, as this review called Global Impacts of Western Diet and the Effects on Metabolism and Health, increase your risk for basically any modern disease out there, from depression to obesity, cancer, all the way to high blood pressure. Alright, hey guys, it's day 4 of trying out the Blueprint diet and I have some things to tell you. First of all, like the downside, I noticed the past several days that I think super veggie is not that enjoyable. So I love the nutty pudding, but the super veggie is like a bit of I feel good after eating it, really, but during the meal, it's not that great. So I told you that I blend it for it to be easier, that I can eat it easier, because it's so much if you don't blend it. I think if you would prepare it in a bowl and just cut the broccoli, the cauliflower, without blending it, it would taste far better, really. But it's so much that you, on the other hand, can't really eat it. The blended version is a bit, I don't want to say yucky. It's good food, so I don't want to say but it is what it is. And it takes ages to eat as well with the blended version, so it's incredible how much food this is actually. Then I forgot to incorporate more olive oil, honestly. So before I tried out the Blueprint diet, I started to way more olive oil and I felt good doing that. And now I can't really add it to the nutty pudding. So as the recipe says, I add 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the super veggie. But Bryan Johnson eats at least 3 tablespoons of olive oil a day. So I might have to increase that. Maybe I see some other benefits and feel even better or in a different way or something like this. But besides all of that, I feel really good. So I criticize super veggie, but I feel really, really energized. This does not last all day. So when I get hungry, I'm hungry. I'm hangry. So after a couple of hours after eating both meals. But generally, I feel really energized. I feel really fit. I feel just really good in a sense. After eating tons of pasta or fast food, it's absolutely something different. So I feel after other foods I would feel I would have aches and feel unwell, a bit irritated, a bit inflamed. But after this, really very energized, very motivated to do things, like my mood is really good. Yeah, I don't know, this is placebo, but I think it is generally healthy food, so you can tell the difference there. Yeah, that's day 4. See you soon. But does it really have to be that hard to actually eat healthy? There are more diets out there than I can count, from low carb to keto, veggie to vegan, paleo to carnivore. So I guess finding the perfect diet is something really hard. Up to now, the Blueprint diet makes me feel really good. I'm very energized, I feel fit, I have great mood. But is it really the perfect diet? Well, I guess it is, at least for Bryan Johnson. It is a diet packed with exactly everything, all those nutrients his body needs. But recommending that everyone should now adapt the same diet day after day feels kinda counterintuitive. In the biohacking and longevity world, there are voices that critique the Blueprint diet for lack of diversity and that it makes eating rather unenjoyable and robotic. There are other biohackers that reduce the speed of aging even more by eating far simpler veggie-rich meals that are rather Mediterranean style, so I guess there's room for debate. But while researching for this video, I stumbled again over this guy, Michael Pollan. I read multiple books by him and found that he could deliver those answers we were actually looking for right now. Michael Pollan is a journalist, a professor, and the author of many books about plants, healthy eating, and our modern food industry, most notable for this video, In Defense of Food and Food Rules. He developed one sentence that captured his views and the advice by many experts out there on this topic in a few simple words that has the potential to change anyone's diet to the better. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants. But what does it even mean? With eat food, Michael Pollan means to actually eat real food. Less of this, no artificially mass-produced concoctions, and more of this, plain simple food without thousands of added ingredients and more. You can call it what you want, less processed, whole foods or whatsoever. Michael Pollan suggests one simple rule to find out and evaluate whether something is really real food or not. Would your great-great-grandmother recognize it as food? Yes, yes, no, not at all, no. The reason here is simple. Through mass production and high processing, food loses its nutritional value. Nutrients, minerals and fiber, all is lost, and it is mostly replaced with plain fat, calories, sugar and many unnecessary ingredients and more. Not too much. Quite simple to actually follow. When we go out to eat something, we often eat way more calories than we would actually need. A typical meal at McDonald's has about 1000 calories. A KFC bucket has about the same calories, but this actually happens easily as well with store-bought food that we eat at home. Not all diseases linked to the Western diet are caused only by the food itself, but also how much we actually eat. Our Western diet normalizes overeating and binge eating until you are absolutely stuffed and full, just to top it off with a dessert or a sugary soft drink afterwards. A great way to start getting a feeling for how much we actually eat is to start using calorie counting app. Otherwise, if this is too much of a hassle for you, you could try to eat like people in healthier societies and populations like Sardinia in Italy or Okinawa in Japan. Here, people often recommend to stop eating when you are about 80% full. This way you avoid overeating and feeling lethargic afterwards. Plus, it usually takes our brain about at least 20 minutes to realize that there actually is enough food in our bodies after we've eaten, until it starts to produce satiety hormones. So stopping to eat a bit earlier might help to learn when you're actually full. Mostly plants. Michael Pollan doesn't want you to specifically go vegan or whatever, but he just analyzes and compares our Western diet with diets where people tend to be way fitter and healthier. And one common theme is that Western societies on average eat too much red meat instead of lean cuts like chicken, or fish like salmon, etc., and almost no legumes or vegetables or whatsoever, whereas in many healthy populations, most food is centered around plants because they are a vital source for many nutrients, which is then topped off with meat or dairy or whatsoever and so on, whereas traditional meals in the Western world look like this or that, with a rather neglectable amount of vegetables. Okay, it's day 7 and this is actually my last day of the Blueprint diet. I ate the nutty pudding, super veggie and 3 tablespoons of olive oil every single day, and I feel great. Lots of energy, mental clarity and a better mood, and I just felt fitter and less achy in general. I enjoyed the nutty pudding a lot, but honestly the super veggie was technically a good meal and delivered me all the nutritional benefits, but I somehow wish to eat something a bit tastier. Will I continue eating like this? Yesn't. I think I will stick to the nutty pudding as a breakfast for now, cause it's just awesome, and I will definitely increase my olive oil intake as well. But for the super veggie, I somehow gotta figure out a way to make it a bit tastier so that I'm gonna eat it more often. Of course, this wasn't a really scientific video. I just wanted to try it out and share it with you guys. And maybe you're now interested to try it out yourself. Please write me down in the comments whether you would like to see more videos about this. Maybe a 30-day trial or a 3 months trial. And maybe also with more of the supplements Bryan Johnson takes. And his daily workout and further routines in order to really try out the blueprint. And also maybe before and after blood work to be done, for example. But just let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.